The Shark Deck.
Hello and welcome to Palace Intrigue. I am your host, Mark Francis. Harry's in the news again, this time for supposedly not being invited to this weekend's Trooping the Colour. But first, let's catch up on some unanswered questions from last week, such as where did Harry stay and who did he see while he was in the UK? The New York Post reports Harry stayed at his former residence at Frogmore Cottage, but didn't see his family during the short trip. Frogmore Cottage is within walking distance of where William and Kate were. Harry arrived back in California Thursday night. Several news outlets are reporting Harry and Meghan are not invited to this weekend's Trooping the Colour. Royal columnist Richard Eden observes it will be the first time in Harry's life that he has not been welcome at the monarch's official birthday celebrations. A source tells Eden, "I'm afraid it's a reflection of the state of relations at the moment. The last time that Harry and Meghan took part in trooping was 2019. Royal columnist Daniela Elsa wrote, "Clearly, the King and William had about as much interest in seeing Harry as Camilla has in joining a WhatsApp group started by Melania and Ivanka Trump. Come next weekend, when the 1,400 soldiers, 200 horses and 400 musicians take to the mall, the remaining frontline members of the royal family will proceed onto the balcony for the arduous business of gracing the masses with their presence. There will be the Wales family, complete with their 3 adorable kidlets, Edward and Sophie, the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh, and their slightly blasé teenagers and the 7 other card-carrying HRHs who are all long past British retirement age. But not only will the Sussexes not be a part of the day in any way, shape or form, but neither will their little ones, Prince Archie, 4 years old, and 2-year-old Princess Lilibet. In another universe, one where Harry and Meghan decided to stick with the business of royaling, the Duke might finally have been made a royal colonel, such that he could actually take part in the parade on horseback alongside Willie. Also, the King's youngest grandchildren would by now be taking their places on the palace balcony too. Dan Wooten, writing for the Daily Mail, wonders if Meghan should take note of Harry's mentioning of his ex-Chelsea Davy. Wooten writes that Davy has moved on. She lives a happy life out of the public eye with a devoted husband, gorgeous child, and successful business. But for Harry, the woman who his friends considered to be the love of his life will always be the one who got away. And because Harry believes he lives in a blameless existence, it will never be his own immature behaviour, including those visits to strip clubs that precipitated the split, but rather the media coverage Chelsea had to endure. So as a result, Chelsea was named in his witness statement 118 times, while Meghan received just 5 mentions. Now, of course, Harry would say that's because the Mirror's apparent bad deeds were going on during his relationship with Chelsea and not Meghan. Meghan might think Harry's campaigning against a free press will burnish her political ambitions and keep him busy, but I think the consequences will end up being far more destructive to him as a person and their marriage. Meghan Kelly agrees, saying, "He does seem to be really focused on the ex. I would not like that. I would be giving my husband a hard time over that tonight over dinner in no uncertain words if I were Meghan Markle. And especially the fact that she apparently dumped him. You never want to inherit the guy who was dumped by somebody else who he then mentions hundreds of times. It's a little red flaggy, but to me their relationship issues can take a back seat." The News.com quoted British socialite Lady Colin Campbell about Harry and Meghan's marriage. Campbell said, "There have been problems in the marriage supposedly for some time. I mean, I have heard from 5 totally reliable sources that Prince Harry has turned to legal experts in all his dealings with Meghan Markle. The problem is that the information doesn't necessarily match up with the public face, but of course, their public face is to an extent slapped on for monetary gain." The News.com also sourced an article they said was in The Sun that had Kate Middleton being an ally for Harry. Whatever has gone between Harry and the family, she still cares about him. We were unable to find the article and do observe that we haven't seen anything else about Kate being a Harry ally these days. Regardless, the article says, Kate has discreetly let Harry know that if he decides he needs a break from the stresses in America, she's happy to be a confidant and a shoulder to cry on, and Kate has made it clear Harry can call her whenever she wants. The source said the same does not go for Meghan. Well, Kate always will forgive Harry. She knows that being Harry's confidant in the UK will rile Meghan, who has always felt that Kate tried to turn Harry against her. Meghan will be even more concerned that she's on hand to give Harry advice while they go through a tough patch, but Kate won't be told what to do and she'll rise above the hate. Palace Intrigue will be right back. Harry left a flight attendant a surprise gift. It was a free copy of his tell-all memoir, Spare. Holden Patton, a member of the cabin crew, shared a picture on TikTok of himself posing with a beaming Prince Harry on board the American Airlines flight. The Mail Online reports Prince Andrew has refused yet another request from the King to leave his home as he fears he will never be allowed back in again. A source said it's become farcical. Andrew has roof repairs scheduled later this summer, which will take several months to complete, and has been advised that staying in the house during those renovations could prove problematic. But he is reluctant to leave. And there you have it. If you'd like to email us, our address is thepalacintrigue@gmail.com. Please follow us on Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, YouTube, or your app of choice. I'm Mark Francis. My thanks to John McDermott. This is Palace Intrigue, and good times.
All right, enough with the negativity. Hi, I'm Johnny Mack, host of 5 Good News Stories. It's a podcast twice a week. Every episode, I curate 5 heartwarming, uplifting news stories from around the world, showcasing the best of humanity, tales of kindness, fun animal stories, quirky items in the news, and you know what? More often than not, something about McDonald's. Can't explain why. I'll bring you a range of stories that will leave you feeling hopeful and optimistic. Start your day on a positive note. The number 5 Good News Stories. It'll make you smile. It'll start your day on a good note. 5 Good News Stories, wherever you get your podcasts.